from Roadrunner Stadium in Rockford. All set to get underway with the baseball game. The Class 4A Super Sectional. First pitch on the way, low and outside. Jonathan Hall leading it off. A lock and load. That's low ball. In there for a strike. Trier trying to make it to the Final Four. Last time they made it this far to the Elite Eight, 2007. Ground ball. Shortstop, up throwing and plenty of time. One up, one down. Here's J.B. McCollum. In the playoffs, J.B. been playing some sensational baseball. Fielding has been spectacular. There's a strike. Foul ball back, got to play. Robbie McDonald on the mound for the Barrington Broncos. Barrington made it to the Elite Eight of baseball with a spectacular victory. 4-0 shutout of Stevenson. Stevenson all year long had trouble hitting. Had some great pitching, had trouble hitting. Ball hit by a pitch, and J.B. McCollum aboard. Here's Charlie Tilson. So Charlie bats with a runner on. Throw over to first. McCollum back. These teams met once earlier in the year at a game at Barrington. A game with two lengthy rain delays. That Trier eventually won 11-10 in 9 innings. Go to first, runner back. Well, what you are in April is not necessarily what you are in June. Each game's always different. Pitch is high, a ball. And the general talk around is that Barrington's had some pitching problems this year. There's a strike. Their big gun, Buckholz, pitched that game on Saturday. McDonald, low and outside a ball. And quite frankly, also, when you get to a game like this, you always get the butterflies syndrome. Playing in a big stadium. A lot of fans. You're one of 8 teams left standing in the state. Out of 64 in your bracket. There's a strike on the outside corner. This game started late in real time. Had a rain delay in the first game, Cary Grove and Batavia. The winner of this game will play Cary Grove. Managed to beat Batavia 9-2. Batavia really had a case of the butterflies. And ball 4. That ball gets away. McCollum over to second. Thought of going to third, but decided to hold up. So 2 on. And 1 out. And Lowell Hall, the batter. Pitch is high, a ball one. New Trier has made it to the Elite Eight. 1954, 1980, 1983, 1989. That was New Trier East, by the way, in 1980. 1989, 1993, 1997, 1999, and 2000, and 2007. Pitch is high, a ball. And finishing the trophy round, final four, 2007, 2000, and 1999. Pitch is high, a ball to Low Hall. Which kind of tells you all the more. Back in those years, it was 8 games to state. And the 99-2000 teams went 15 of 16 those 2 years, winning 15 out of the 16 games. Foul ball. It'd take a pretty good poke to get a windshield whacker here. Got to get it clean out of the ballpark, and beyond that, a fly ball. Center fielder drifts in, takes it for the out. 2 away. Here's Tim Duxbury. That's a strike, strike one. The look back a couple of times. Swing and a miss, strike. Well outside a ball. A line shot. Got the distance, but foul. Outside a ball. Top of the first inning. 2 on, 2 out. New Trier and Barrington. Super sectional action. Low and inside a ball. Look the runner back. High pop-up. Fly ball, actually. Right fielder waits, takes it for the out. And the inning over. No runs, no hits, a walk, a hit batter, and 2 left. Go to the bottom half of the first inning. Anthony Brignola will lead it off for the Barrington Broncos. Will be followed by Tim Oakley and Johnny Day. That's a ball low and outside, ball 1. Bob Cook on the mound for the Trevians. Coming into this ball game, New Trier has outscored their opponents 35-4 in the playoffs. There's a strike. High bounder. Duxbury, nice pickup. Over to Carroll for the out. 1 away. 6-3 on the putout. Here's Tim Oakley. Bob delivers. Pitch outside a ball. Ball one. Outfield playing shaded slightly to right. One bounder. Jake Carroll with the pickup. Steps on the bag for the unassisted out. And there's two away. Here's Johnny Day. And a ball inside. Fouled off, and the count evens up at 1-1. Outside a ball. And another one fouled off. Scoop that, fly ball. And Gordy Campbell over. Takes it for the out. And a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left at the end of one. No score. And we'll be back with more in just a moment here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. No score in this one as we go to the second inning. Bob Cook leads it off. Cook, Carroll, and Mazzoni do up for the Trevians. McDonald delivers. High a ball. Ball one. Now the pitch. Inside the ball. 2-0. And in their first strike. Blackjack on the count, Bob Cook. McDonald delivers. Swinging a long fly ball. Back it goes. Up against the fence for the extra bases and the left center field gap. And Bob Cook in the segment stand-up double. So Cook leads off the inning with the double. Courtesy runners Stu Brown. Here's Jake Carroll. The look back. And make sure Brown stays honest out at second. Outfield playing straight away. Pitches high and outside a ball. Carroll showed bunt. Some of these neutral players have had experience at this level. They were around for that 2007 run. Where New Trier ended up losing the state championship game, finishing second in state. Pitches high a ball. This is the sort of time all you care about frosting on a cake. Do the best you can, have a lot of fun. Foul ball. I mean, you're one of 8 teams left standing. Enjoy it. Time of your life, guys. Delivery on the way. Ground ball. So little roller picked up by the second baseman. Over to first in time. And on the play, over to third goes Stu Brown. Here's Steve Mazzoni. So Mazzoni bats. Shortens the bunt. Takes the strike. I think it was on the pitch, but he also looked like he offered. High and outside a ball. 1-1. Robbie McDonald on the mound for the Barrington Broncos, left-hander, 6'1". Pitch is high, a ball. On the outside corner for the strike. Deuces on the count. To Steve Mazzoni. Boy, the bottom of the batting order for New Trier has just been hitting up a storm. Mazzoni, Campbell, Jake Carroll hit a home run against Loyola. Mazzoni, a couple of base hits, including a bases clearing double against Loyola. Gordy Campbell, 2 for 3 against the Ramblers. Foul ball. And ball 4. Pitch is low. Might have been a little outside, too. Here's Gordy Campbell. And some activity in the bullpen. There goes the runner. There goes the throw. Not in time. Stolen base for Mazzoni. So man's aboard at second for Gordy Campbell. Line shot, base hit to right center. Up over the head of the second baseman. That'll score 2. As Mazzoni home to score. And Gordy Campbell with a 2 RBI single. And Trevians lead 2-0. Here's Jonathan Hall. Down to first. Runner back. Again, throw over to first, and again the runner back. The look in. Throw to first. Set to the outside. There goes the runner. There goes the throw. Not in time. Stolen base for Campbell. New pitcher, Unak. There's a slow little roller. No, not going to get to that one. Tried with the bare hand pickup. And a beautifully placed bunt single for Jonathan Hall. On the play, Gordy Campbell over to third. Runners at the corners for J.B. McCollum. McCollum hit by a pitch his first time up. So Tom Unak on in relief of Robbie O'Donnell. There's a strike. Strike one. One out, 2 aboard. 2 runs there already in here in the top of the second. There goes the runner. Slow little roller bunt. Down the line. Oh, beautifully placed, but just rolls foul. Coach Pauling having a little fun over there. He can't do that. You can't blow that ball back fair, but outside a ball. It's over to first. Jonathan Hall back. Now the pitch. Foul ball back. And whoops, got away. And second dive. J.B. McCollum. Hit by a pitch, and that loads him up with one out for Charlie Tilson. Number 3 in the batting order for New Trier. Unit gets his side from Johnny Day. Pitch on the way, inside the ball. Well, chance for the Trevians to bust this one open here in the top of the second. Look back. Swing a ground ball through for the base hit single. That will score 2. 1 run coming home. Here comes the throw, not in time. And Jonathan Hall home to score on the throw home. Charlie Tilson takes second. So McCollum at third. Tilson at second. And Lowell Hall the batter. Outside the ball, ball 1. And a line shot past the right fielder up against the fence, and Lowell Hall into second with a stand-up double. That'll score 2 more runs. And it's 6-0. Boy, New Trier really pouring it on. Jeff Channer, the courtesy runner, out at second for the catcher Lowell Hall. And here is Tim Duxbury. High fly ball down the line, foul.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Riverhawks team store is open.
It's 41-4 favor of the Trevians, and runs scored in the playoffs. High fly ball. Right fielder just back. Takes it for the out. Tagging and going to third is Jeff Tanner. Here's Bob Cook for the second time of the inning as the Trevians have batted around. 10th man to bat. Trevians with 6 runs here in the inning. Pitch a little inside the ball. Swing and a miss, strike. Swing, ground ball, right back up the middle, through the box, base hit. And another run home. And it's 7-0. Stu Brown back again, the run at first. Here's Jake Carroll, 11th man to bat in the inning. 7th spot on the board for the Trevians. Little foul tip. Hokie, Scheffler, and Fedoro. 2 up. That's all ball. Go for the first. Runner back. And a high fly ball. Center fielder comes in and takes it to end the inning. But the Trevians come out with 7 runs on 6 hits. And 1 left. Go to the bottom half of the second inning. Chris Holkey leads it off. There's a strike. Strike one. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Well outside the ball. It only goes to show you just how, pitches high a ball, just how badly and how unnecessary are the rankings. Out of the teams at the beginning of the year on the rankings, I think there's only one or two of them that are still left. The base hit to right for Holkey. They had Stevenson ranked highly. They're gone. They had Brother Rice ranked highly. They went out early. Wheaton North. Wheaton North's gone. That's why I say you can't go by the rankings. Man, it's ridiculous. Pitch a low ball. Jack Scheffler, the batter. Just a sophomore. Got a couple of them playing around this ball game today. Ground ball. All over to Duxbury, on over to Carroll for the double play to end the inning. Or for two out. 4-6-3 on the DP. Federero, the batter.
Two pitchers, a catcher and the first base.
Derek Federero.
Smallest one's the first base.
There's a strike. Now the pitch is a little ground ball. Ball on over to Carroll for the out, and they're getting over. No runs, a hit, but nobody left at the end of two. Trevians lead it 7-0, and we'll be back with more. So the Trevians in command now, leading at 7-0 as we go to the top of the third inning. And Steve Mazzoni leads it off. Mazzoni with a high bounder. Knock it down, but won't be able to do much else with it. Single for Mazzoni. Here's Gordon Campbell. Campbell's single drove home two last time up. Trevians sent 11 men to the plate in the second. Campbell batting here in the third. Foul ball. Now have yourself a day. Just enjoy the game. There's a strike three. That's one away. Here's Jonathan Hall. On to first. And Mazzoni back. Unek delivers. That's a strike. High bounder. And all he can do is hold on. Little infield single for Jonathan Hall. So 2-1, and here's J.B. McCollum. Pitch is inside the ball. Swing and a base hit. Right back up. And another run home. RBI single for J.B. McCollum. And here's Charlie Tilson. Look the runner back. Charlie with a walk and a single. In the ball game. And there's a bunt, and it is a beauty. Everyone's going to be safe on that one. A little bunt single. And the Trevians have the bases loaded again for Lowell Hall. So Lowell with a chance again to do a little damage. Trevians leading 8-0. Oh, swung and a miss. And kind of trying to get out of the way of that one almost. Maybe he set up his mind he was going to swing at that. Yeah, it's outside the ball. 1-2. To Lowell Hall. Bases loaded. 1 out. Trevians already leading 8-0. And a ground ball through for the base hit. That'll score 2. And over to third goes Tilson.
Tim Duxbury.
And that means 3 more in. Bounder foul. And it is 10-0. Here's Tim Duxbury. That's low and outside the ball. Inside the ball. Stolen base for Jeff Tanner. Uncontested. Not going to throw it out there with a runner at third. Concede the stolen base. High and outside the ball.
Oh, it's 10-0 in the third inning. Don't call me.
A long foul ball. Down the line. Delivery and follow the other way. Line shot right back. Throw to second, to third. I was looking at second because they had a play at second. But Unick didn't look that way at all. Boy, they had Tanner at second. But fortunately, they were looking at Tilson at third, and Tilson was on the bag. Here's Bob Cook. inside the ball. Cook 2 for 2. Both hits coming in the second inning. Double and a single. Swing and a miss, straight. And a long fly ball. Boy, that's going to be a gapper out there past the center fielder. Back to the fence. Cook on his way to third, and he'll make it with a stand-up triple. Wow. 3 for 3 on the day. A single, double, and triple. Here's Jake Currow, and he sends one out that same way. And again, the center fielder back and up against the fence on the bounce. And into second is Jake Currow. And a 6th spot. So after a 7 run, a 6-run inning, and it's 13-0, Trevians. There's a strike on the outside corner. Here's Mazzoni batting for the second time in the inning. 10 men to the plate this inning. 11 last inning. 10 so far this inning. Over to third goes Currow on the wild pitch. Oakley now on the mound. Chris Oakley now pitching. Or Tim Oakley. Going outside a ball. Chris Holkey and Tim Oakley. And they both show up on the roster next to each other. Delivery. Foul ball. Off to the right. High into the Rockford night. Ball 4. Barrington thought they had the strikeout. Here's Gordy Campbell. And again, the Trevians have sent 11 to the plate here. They lead at 13-0. That's a ball 1. And a strike. So runners at the corners for New Trier. Currow at third, Mazzoni at first. Throw it at first. Mazzoni back. Drops in there for a strike. The way the Trevians have been hitting the ball here, I'm surprised they haven't moved those outfielders back a little bit. That's a little ground ball. Second baseman has it. Over to first, and the inning over. But the Trevians put a 6 spot on the board. 13 runs on 13 hits. And laid it. Here's Alfonso. He's Ricky Alfonso. He's another sophomore playing in this one. High bounder. Knocked down. Throw not in time. And an error on Tim Duxbury. Here's Unak. Tom Unak. Swing and a miss, strike. Fouled off. Bob Cook delivers. Strike 3. And there's one away. Here's Buckholz. Sean Buckles, 6'5", big boy. 6'5", 195. He's a junior, playing first base, straight. Outside a ball. Swing and a miss.
Everybody clap your hands.
This is a new ballpark here in Rockford. Foul ball back. The old ballpark, Marinelli Field. There's a base hit to left for Buckholz. So 2 on with 1 out. And leadoff batter Anthony Brignola, the batter. Their little ballpark where the Midwest League team played. Still there along the river. Mosquito Junction. Boy, the mosquitoes used to come off the river there. The size of 747s. Big old mothers. Outside the ball. Well, it was a great place to watch a ball game. You know, one of the little old ballparks that just reek of Americana. Delivery on the way. Foul ball. Typical little middle America ballpark. Foul ball. Kenosha had one of those ballparks too. They're still out there. And that's a base hit. Here comes the runner around. He's going to score. And it's 13-1. There's Alfonso. Comes home to score. Here's Oakley. Now the pitcher for the Broncos. There's a strike. Bottom of the third. New Trier leading 13-1. Trevians shaded to right. There's a strike. But center fielder, the sophomore Charlie Tilson, can really cover the ground. Chris Oakley, the batter. I did it again. Tim Oakley, the batter. Outside the ball. Sometimes I get that. I'm getting to be the age, you know, that I'm getting close to foul ball. Getting close to Harry Carey, Jack Brickhouse, Bob Elson age, you know, where you mess up everybody's name. There's a fly ball out to right field. And Gordy Campbell has it for the out. I don't mean to do it, you know, your mouth moves faster than your mind does. 2 out, Johnny Day, the batter. That's a strike. I gotta have fun too. I gotta have fun too, you know. Strike on the outside corner. (48-5). Reachers outscored their opponents in this year's playoffs. Inside a ball. Scooped at, fly ball. And Tilson takes it for the out and the inning. 1 run on 2 hits, an error, and 2 left. Trevians lead at 13-1 at the end of 3. We'll be back. Well, the Trevians well in control of this one, leading at 13-1, 13-hit attack here. Here's Jonathan Hall to lead it off. And drops in, but late. Ball. Might have curved a little bit to the outside as well. Ball one. Ball two.
Well, we've only had 3 pitchers all season.
Yeah, strike. Blackjack on the count.
I mean, this guy here is pitching right now.
Jonathan Hall.
Catcher all year.
Out of delivery.
The guy who's catching.
That's the ball. And ball four. So Jonathan Hall draws the walk. And here's J.B. McCollum. And he takes the ball. J.B. officially one at bat. Single and a run scored in that one at bat. Been hit by a pitch twice. And also scored a run one of those times. Left stranded back in the first inning. Outside the ball. 3-1. And ball four. So the leadoff men have done their job. Out of 8 at-bats, they've been on base 7 times in various ways. Here's Charlie Tolson. That's a strike. Strike two. Curved in there. High pop up. Shortstop takes it. It's out number 1. Here's Lowell Hall. There's a strike. And outside the ball, 1-1. The low. 2 for 3 in previous plate appearances. Inside the ball. Blackjack. That's all ball. 3-1. Swinging a ground ball. Third baseman steps on the bag. Long throw, not in time. And fielder's choice. Here's Tim Duxbury. McCollum at second. And Tanner at first. Running for Lowell Hall. It's a ball to Duxbury. Tim's the only player that hasn't been on base safely today. Outside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded. Here's Bob Cook. And Cook 3 for 3 on the day. Single, double, and a triple. And if he gets the circuit, gets the cycle, it'd be a grand slam. Swing, ground ball right back up the middle. Hit the mound. Another run home. Woo! And another run in. And it's 14-1. Here's Jake Carroll. Yeah, fall off. Strike. Jake doubled his last time up after Cook hit that triple. There's a fly ball down the line. Foul caught by the left fielder for out number 3 to end the inning. I meant to say after Cook hit the triple, Carroll hit the double. And the third, but he flies out foul in foul territory. Round number 3. Bottom half of the frame. Here's Holke to lead it off. Fouls one off for a strike. Class 4A Super Sectional, outside a ball. Winner of this game goes to Joliet, Silvercross Stadium. Outside a ball. Ain't it the way everyone gets these exotic vacations in the spring and the summer? School's out, people head off on vacations, whatever. My vacation this year, I might get to go to Joliet. There's a fly ball, and that's going to get over the head of Gordy Campbell out to the fence. And into second is Chris Holke with the double. So Holke aboard with the double to lead off the inning, and here's Scheffler. And he sends a blast. That's a base hit. And that'll score a run. As Jack Scheffler with the RBI single. And it is 14-2. Here's Federero. The inside corner for the strike, had him backing out of it. Derek Federero. Facing Bob Cook. High bounder. Pick up the throw. Nice play by J.B. McCollum. Had to rush a little bit with the big bounce on the infield here at Rockford. Here's Ricky Alfonso. Second of it, strike. There's a fly ball. Over and nope, not going to get to that one. Drops in with the base hit. Here's Tom Unack. John Selle begins warming up for the Trevians. There's a strike. Trevians in command of this one. 14-2. The Trevians just trying to finish it off. And head to Joliet. Got a first runner back. When you consider New Trier is, 109 years old. And, well, they started baseball playoffs in the 30s, I believe, something like that. Only 3 teams in New Trier history have made it down that far. There's a fly ball out there. Whoops. Throw it to second, and they'll get him on the fielder's choice. They'll score that as a fielder's choice, but another run home. It's not an error because although Tilson dropped the ball, they got the out at second. That's a fielder's choice. So 2 out, 2 runs in, and it's 14-3. It looks like New Trier are going to play Cary Grove in the quarterfinal, or the semifinal, This is the quarterfinal. The Elite Eight. Any team that wins here in their super sectional guaranteed a medal. Second to miss, strike three. And they're getting over. We go to the fifth. And the Trevians leading it 14-3. And we'll be back. Well, New Trier with a big 14-hit attack here. 14 runs. And have outscored their opponents 49-7. Wow. You're going to win a lot of ball games doing that. Going to go far in state. Finish them off early. And head to Joliet. Pitch outside corner for a strike. Steve Mazzoni, the batter. Mazzoni, Campbell, and Jonathan Hall scheduled to bat. The line shot caught by the shortstop. That's out number one. Here's Gordy Campbell. A little outside a ball. Let's see. We had minor league games. We've had games in the Schaumburg Alexian Field. College Parks, counting the summer league. Ground ball over to first, shortstop. Here's Peter McNett batting. Alexian Field, Elfstrom Stadium, Silver Cross Stadium at Joliet. And now Rockford, just in the playoffs in baseball, high school playoffs, counting American Legion Summer. We've had a couple of college fields we've been to. Round ball through for the base hit by Peter McNett. Here's Jeff Tanner, going to bat for J.B. McCollum. Jonathan Hall re-enters. Ball one. That's a low ball. And a high fly ball on the giddy up. Center fielder over, has it for the out. In the gap out in left center. And we go to the bottom half of the fifth. Top of the batting order due up for the Barrington Broncos. And the New Trier Trevians leading this one 14-3. That's a strike, strike one. John Sally now on the mound for the Trevs. We're going to finish this one off. Pitch high and outside the ball. Brignella, Oakley, and Day do up. That's a ball. Inside the ball. And ball four. So Brignolo aboard. And here's Oakley. There's a strike. Good Tim Oakley. Yeah, it's a ball. Swinging a high bounder. Yeah, whoops. Well, nice job by Jonathan Hall getting into the gap. Couldn't do anything with it. Base hit for Oakley and two aboard. Here's Johnny Day. Pitch outside, a ball. So 2 on, nobody out. Barrington has to score 2 to keep it going. There's a little bunt. Nice pickup. Throw. In time. They got him. But the runners advance. 2 in scoring position with 1 out. Here's Chris Holke. Outside the ball. And Holke's been perfect on the day. Single and a double. Hit one over the head of Gordy Campbell last time up. High pop-up. And Jake Currow calls for it, takes it. 2 away. Here's Scheffler. That's a ball. Gets away from Lowell Hall. Run home. And it's 14-4. 4 runs, the most runs any team scored on the Trevians in the playoffs. Swing it a bit strike. And the run ratio 49-4 favor the Trevians. They're plus 41 through 5 games. Little foul tip. Got the bat out on it. Fouled it off. Foul tip. Held on. Strike 3 in the ball game all over. And the New Trier Trevians are into the medal round. The final 4. And the Trevians win it 14-4. And we'll be back in just a moment to wrap this one up. Celebrations begin at the dugout for the Trevians. As the New Trier Trevians win the Super Sectional, the Elite 8 game, and are guaranteed a trophy, finishing 1st through 4th in the Class 4A playoffs. There you go, Trevians, with the plaque of winning the Super Sectional. Celebration with the team. And take the victory lap. As the New Trier Trevians finish it off early with a 14-4 rout of the Barrington Broncos. The line score on this ball game for the New Trier Trevians, 14 runs on 15 hits, 1 error. They were struck out 1 time, walked 6. New Trier left 7 on base with 3 stolen bases. For the Barrington Broncos, 4 runs on 7 hits, no errors. They were struck out 3 times, walked once, and 4 left on base. So New Trier will play on. They'll go to the Final 4 and face Cary Grove. The winner of that game will play for state. So 2 more for state. For all of us here at the network, hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Stick around for more baseball action. Of course, once we get done with the high school season, we are on to American Legion as well. So we got baseball coming up all summer long. But in any case, we're still playing here. So let's go for the state, for the Trevians, and for all of us here at the network. This is Mark Braun, and for all of us, we say as always, so long, everybody.